We are now focusing on social and political changes in ancient historical period. This is series of lectures. Usually live session is there that will go around 20 minutes to 25 minutes. That is the time duration. So as possible, I am considering this lecture. Maybe possible notification will be there if program is scheduled or some software error is there. Then we will try that only little bit on our community we will send the notice and immediately we will start broadcast, because what we observed that when we are starting direct broadcast, error is not there, but otherwise some error we observed there. Anyway, so we are now focusing on ancient period before starting the actual subject, that is social and political reforms. We want to check first that what was the exact condition, and second, what is the source that we can get condition. Okay. Now obvious thing is that in India we lost out various evidences in prolonged period. Say if I am talking about USA, that is United States of America, their nation's history is comparatively shorter, hardly 500 years, hardly. Whereas if I am talking about England, then also I can't stretch historical period beyond 2000 years. That Stonehenge part is there, but that is going in prehistoric period. And by looking at that monument of Stonehenge, we can easily guess that the people at that time, no doubt, how they erected that, that is the question. But the thing is that the structure, Stonehenge, if you observe, you will find that it is not at all furnished structure. Whereas if you observe particularly Mohenjo-daro and Harappa part or Indus Valley civilization, we will get the proportional things. Even foreign historians, they are saying that what kind of art, architecture or whatever the artwork on seal is observed, seals are minute as compared to huge structures. The technology used at that time was much more advanced. Even Hellenic world, they compare always with Hellenic world. Hellenic world means Greek civilization. So even Hellenic world was not able to get that what 5000 years ago Indus Valley civilization was having. Now the biggest question is that in prolonged period of history, we have lost many things. Let me take example again. If you are talking of art and architecture, then what we are aware that what we are getting at Indus Valley civilization. There we are getting seals and a variety of things, even ornaments, idols. The proportionality of idol, if you check, it's very nice. But after that, directly till Mauryan period, no evidences of art and architectures are observed. This is surprise. That means we have lost in due course of history some of the evidences. Say for example 5000 years ago to 2500 years ago, nearly period of 2500 years, we are not getting a single record. That is the problem. And then we have to discuss all these things without proper points. So I don't have any point, rather I should say that whatever there in academics that I am going to explain, but logically speaking, I am not getting that sense in discussing these all points, because we are always discussing in the order it may be. Now whatever the sources we have to discuss this, that is Rigvedic period. You are aware of Rigveda. We believe that it is the first book or first literature in the world. No doubt, for comparison, always they say that Persian people, they are having book that is called as Zend Avesta. That is also as ancient as Rigveda. Or some people are saying first Zend Avesta was written, then Rigveda. So with our knowledge, Rigveda is the first book that is written. Rigveda is not a book as they have taken pen or whatever that writing system available at that time and start writing, start to end. No. It was comprised of nearly 1,000 years work. And that's why you'll find that whatever the hymns are there, they are describing variety of things. And we try to get knowledge about social condition, economical condition, political condition, everything on basis of whatever the Rigvedic hymns are there. In latter phase, Upanishad and other books like Brahmanaka, Aranyaka, they were written. As a result, we got that whatever the changes we can trace out from that. So here I want to tell the material source first, that how I am getting these all things. The answer is that usually from the literature we can get. Let me clarify. If I am observing movie that was recorded somewhere in 1950s era, what the source or what is the technology these people were using at that time, that is definitely different than what in 2000 era the movie is there. So for example, if you are aware, the Hindi movie, in that very old song is there, Mere Piya Gaye Rangun, and the next line, Wahan se kiya hai telephone. That means in this movie they are giving references of telephone. Okay, but if you observe the movies which were comprised somewhere after 1995 onwards, they are getting references of email, the communication via email and all that. So internet uses are observed in that. If movie is recorded in range of 98, 99, one movie is there, I don't want to take name, but the thing is that where this shown that placement of beggar from mobile phone. It was miracle at that time that beggar is using mobile phone, because mobile phone was very, very costly at that time. And single call, incoming call was costing somewhere 16 rupees per minute. Incoming calls were also charged. But if you check out the condition, if anything is recorded in 2015 era, then obviously mobile phone is common. They are not showing that miracle, I have mobile phone and all that. So like that, whatever the references we are getting from the movie, we can go to conclusion that in 1950s era, telephone was not there. Telephone is not that common, and so it is miraculous one. Even you can check out a common scene in black and white movie, that hero or heroine, they are going on radio station and they are carrying out live broadcast of their song, and all people are gathering around radio to listen that. So like that things are observed, whereas in latter phase you can check out these type of scenes are not there, because radio was miracle, something great thing at that time. But then onwards it become cheaper, and then cheaper means cost wise, and then onwards you'll find that it's very, very common thing. So it is not considered that way as in 1950s era the radio was considered. So like that we are getting this type of references from literature, and then from that we are trying to get conditions. Now according to whatever the literature they have described, we can go this way, that what was the political situation first. Let us take socio and political situation simultaneously. India or whatever the if I am going by that theory, say I am not supporting this theory practically because we have evidences, but still in academics this theory is there and I have to go by that theory only. That is called as Aryan invasion theory. So theory says that Aryans came out from Khyber Pass. Initially they set out their empire in Indus Valley civilization, Indus Valley. Rigveda was comprised in Indus Valley, and then onwards Aryans went further towards eastern side and they occupied Gangetic Valley. Bangladesh or Bengal, that is West Bengal and East Bengal or Bangladesh, that was not that much considered as part of Aryavarta. People were considered as Aryans and non-Aryans. And then the extreme of Aryavarta was in Sapta Sindhu, that is Indus Valley, that is including of river Saraswati also, because Rigvedic hymns are showing presence of river Saraswati and certain other rivers, they are tributaries of this. So maybe possible the western part of Rajasthan, that is today we call as Thar Desert or Great Indian Desert, that was well agricultural part. Again, some mistakes are there in trying to understand the world. As we discussed in our earlier lecture, we say Yavana. Yavana stands for Greeks in old literature, but in latter literature, Yavan stands for Muslim person, particularly outsider Muslim, that is claimed as Yavan. So like that, words are same, but meaning attached to them is different. So same way Prithvi, this is the confusing word, because in earlier days, Prithvi was considered as the land which can be used for agricultural purpose. So if barren land is there or forest land is there, that was not coming under Prithvi. Prithvi means agriculture we can carry out there. That land, that is called as Prithvi, and not today what we call Prithvi as an entire we are considering as earth. So it is not earth, it is only the part where we can carry out agricultural activities. So according to this, whatever records we are getting, India or whatever the Aryavarta at that time, that was divided into villages. They say that we are not getting that evidences that they were having Nagar. Nagar means cities. But we are having evidences of Pura. Pura means most probably, they say, everywhere these words are there. Most probably, they say that Pura, that means most probably a citadel, a small town which is having fortification wall from all the direction. Like that, things are there. Now here, we are getting these references according to the hymns. People were carrying out agricultural activity. The chief of village was called as Gramini. Then child marriages were not common practice in those days. Particularly we are talking of Vedic period. Vedic period, we believe that ends around 600 BC. So what maximum changes are there that we have to study after 600 BC, but prior to that I must explain some of the conditions. So the first important condition that they were having presence of villages, no references of big cities or cities are there in this Vedic literature as given in book. I am not expert in Vedas, I have not studied out Vedas in detail, and so I am not getting that information. So this some information is there what I am conveying to you, that is according to given in the book. Then onwards, the situation was that two classes were considered as of prime importance. They were Brahman and Kshatriya. Other two classes, they were having not that importance at that time. Not that importance means what? Hierarchy wise they were not having place, but they were also important. They were called as Vaishya and Shudra. Like that, four classes were there. But the class system was not caste system. It was allowed to change the class. So references are there that we are having the change of classes. You are aware in Mahabharata. Now whether Mahabharata is reality or not reality, that is different thing. But what epical references are showing that in Mahabharata, Dronacharya, being Brahman, teaching out weapons, that means Shastra Vidya. So he was claimed again and again that being Brahman, you are following Shastra Dharma. So like that references are there, but still it was allowed. If you observe Karna, say who was father and mother of Karna, they were not known at that time, a time of when Mahabharata was going on. But the thing is that he was basically son, considered as son of Sut, that means Sarathi, a sort of driver we can consider. And then But still, he was changed from Sutaputra, that is son of driver, to warrior clan. Duryodhan honored him and offered him kingdom of a desh, that is we can say country, that is called as Angadesh. And this way the change of class was possible. Even in latter phase, Manusmriti was comprised. That also says that if king is Shudra, we can take a donation from king. And only thing is that we have to wash out that with water, because gold is always pure. After washing that, it becomes pure again. Now forget of that caste system and all that. But I want important reference here. If at all king is Shudra, that means Shudras were able to become king. Chances were there. That's why this is written. And then we have to find out word Shudra. You'll find that it is wrongly interpreted. That Shudra means lower class people. Many times our ancient references, they are showing that Shudra means outsider also. So here we can get references that here the king is outsider. Then also if he is donating you, then you can take, because gold is always pure. So like that references are there. Anyway, so these things are there in our ancient literature. From that we will try to get meaning and we will try to get changes in the society. So this is just introductory lecture, test lecture today. I will check out after that, and then some modifications are required. We will do technical modifications. So my next lecture will be tomorrow. You can keep in mind, if you are not getting link, then come to channel around 7:05, and at 7:05 AM you can check out some live streaming is there. That means we are carrying out recording. Thanks.